Hey, good to have you here with another JCC Devotional. Um, I was thinking about this transition from winter to spring, and it almost always is a time of great encouragement, isn't it? There are great things about winter, don't get me wrong, but there's something about coming into spring, this promise of new life sprouting up before our eyes. It's just great. And another reason for encouragement, I think, is what's been happening on the pandemic front or the COVID virus. We're getting good news, aren't we? The vaccines seem to be doing their job. The numbers are going down, and things are loosening up a little bit. It doesn't mean we're not to be careful and be very considerate about all those around us. But as I read things, as I see things, I think there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm really confident. We haven't set a date yet, but I'm confident before too long we're going to have the opportunity to meet together as a body of believers, which is what Christ has called us to, and that is our purpose. That is one of our purposes. So we look forward to that. As difficult as this past year has been, and it has been discouraging and unsettling, I believe God is, I'm confident that God is working through all these situations to bring about growth in our lives. It's been happening on a personal level for me. A little less than a year ago, sometime last year, I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder known as Hashimoto's. In this condition, my autoimmune system, or my immune system, attacks the thyroid, which becomes damaged and it can't produce any thyroid hormones. The result, at least in my case, has been just extreme bouts of fatigue as well as significant brain fog, to the point where it was sometimes really difficult to do my job. In fact, there have been a number of times in this past year where I've just felt so bad that I wanted to cancel particular meetings or Bible studies or things that I was involved with. But I kind of soldiered through. No credit to me, but I felt, I can still do this. But what I found in almost every instance is that God has given me the energy and the mental acuity to be present, to participate, to facilitate. And so it's been a great source of encouragement for me, knowing that God has really been lifting me up there. One of the great things, too, I think that should give us comfort is found in God's Word. All over His Word, God's promises are seen, and His love and compassion for us. And in particular, in Romans 5, the Apostle Paul talks about the fact that our trials, the difficult things we go through in life, should be met with joy. Not because it's so great to be sick or to have discouragement or tribulation in life, but because of what fruit is produced by those trials. That's what I'm seeing, at least on a small level right now in my own life. God is showing Himself to be faithful to me and is walking with me through this. By the way, we're going to get to that passage in Romans 5 in a couple weeks, and it is so good. I can't wait to bring you that message. But I tell you this not to elicit pity, because there's good news here. That for me, this condition is treatable through thyroid hormone medicine. The not so good news is that it's a long process and it's slow, and so I have to be patient through it. The great thing, though, is I know is God is walking with me through this. And I'm grateful that this condition can be controlled. But I also see this as an opportunity to exercise my faith to a greater degree than maybe I had in the past. There have been a number of occasions where I've been carnal, and I've complained and moaned about it, and been angry. But I know I find forgiveness in God, and I strive for that. So I'm not always upbeat. I'm not always positive about this, but I am finding a deeper sense of meaning in Paul's words to the church at Corinth. He wrote in his second letter in chapter 12, he discovered, as he said, that as God told him, that my grace is sufficient for you and my power is perfected in weakness. That is an incredible promise by God. And I don't believe that's limited to the Apostle Paul. I believe that's there for us as well. So in the coming days and weeks, I hope that you would be engaging with God through His Word, that you would, as I think we talked about a couple weeks ago, that you would let it wash over you, that you would recall his promises of faithfulness and love towards you. And let that be a source of encouragement. I really look forward to seeing you all in the future. In the meantime, may God bless you richly and take care of you. Thanks very much.